I forget that why America invaded Syria. Instead, he support coup.
Because well, in Syria, because there was a bloody civil war going on, and Assad was using chemical weapons on the rebels. So out of, well, you could say humanitarian grounds, or under the pretext of humanitarian grounds, they got involved. But I don't think it was the UN; it was the US that operated on its own ground.
Why America? They themselves invaded.
Well, basically, we saw that, right? Because the UN couldn't intervene because there was a veto. There was a veto from China. There was a veto from Russia. So the UN could not intervene.
Mm. The same as Egypt.
The same as Egypt. But I wonder if it was really by design, then the United States should have known that Russia and China would never agree to a UN resolution.
Mm.
So in that case, maybe they didn't want UN there. They want to. They want their own presence.
They didn't do like Afghanistan or Syria. America itself is invading Afghanistan, right?
Mm.
But how come they didn't do the same way for Syria?
Well, in Syria, it became very complex because IS was there. You had the rebels that were there. You have Assad there, and basically, in Afghanistan, nobody was supporting the government, right? But in Syria, basically, the moment Syria would be, Assad would be attacked, Russia could get, could say, okay, well, this was not according to the UN revolution, and they could start to openly support Syria, and it could lead to a big escalation between the United States and Russia. Because the Russians were the supporters of Assad at that time.
Yeah, but later.
And Afghanistan didn't have that support.
Russia supported Syria later. Not 2012.
Well, actually, of course, Russia has always been a supporter of Syria. Always. They have a port there. They have in Syria. They had their biggest customer of Russian weapons there. Syria and Russia have always been very close allies because of Assad.
Still, do you believe that Assad using chemical weapons?
I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe. I mean, I don't know what to believe in that case. I don't think anybody can say yes, I believe it, or I don't believe it, because how can you say no or yes to that? How can we be sure that? I mean, I would say that he's capable of it, most certainly. I mean, he was also capable, and that I know for sure, for actually bombing people in one of his own cities. So if you can do that, you can also use chemical weapons on your own people. That I do believe he's capable of doing it, but did he do it? I'm not so sure.
So what's your conclusion for today's video?
Conclusion is that regarding the Arab Spring, I think very much that this was not just an accidental movement that happened because people started to uprise against the regimes. It was a doctored, it was doctored and fabricated by open support from Western countries for rebel movements to actually revolt against their regimes. That I believe. I do believe that Arab Spring happened because the West wanted it to happen. And I do not believe that the West wanted it to happen because simply it was just a democrat. It was people's right to a democracy. I do not believe that Russia was very much interested in preventing bloodshed. I do believe that this was very, very strong a series of events that was very heavily influenced with geopolitical movements, both from Russia, from China, from the United States, and from Europe, to get more influence in the Middle East.
Who's bad guy?
I think they're all bad guys, really. I think there is no good guy in this case.
Not Hillary?
No, not at all. Hillary, not at all. You think Hillary? No. Hillary is not interested in, at least Hillary was very interested, because look at it. They support the rebels in Libya. The rebels in Libya before the, while Gaddafi is still in power, they support them by providing oil. Then they encourage Japan to actually buy oil from the Libyans. So, from the Libyans instead of from the Iranians. So it's already trying to not only destabilize Libya, but also trying to destabilize Iran. So by taking away the Japanese yen out of Iran, that could have
I didn't know that Hillary encouraged Japan to buy Libya oil from instead of Iran.
Yeah. So that's smelly, don't you think?
But why Libyan embassy consulate killed while Hillary was at that position?
Why they killed the American ambassador?
Ambassador. This is Hillary, right?
Yeah. But that was with Mubarak supporters or with rebels?
No, this is is this Egypt? No.
No, Libya. Sorry, not Mubarak, Gaddafi.
Why they are killed?
Because they believe it was doctored. The American ambassador was killed because it was a move against the Americans, because the Americans have been manipulating this whole event. Basically, the Americans were behind the support of the rebels who overthrew Gaddafi.
Support level?
Yes.
But why they are killed? They're killed by rebel.
By?
Rebel, right? Gaddafi?
I think Gaddafi supporters.
Gaddafi? I forget that. Okay, today is finished. I just couldn't join well today, but next week we're going to start Arab Spring again, right? Okay. This is today's Arab Spring, very short time for discussion. Right?
So,
but this is very good story, and we need to.
So this is a very, very interesting story. It has a lot of angles, a lot of sides. France was involved, China was involved, Russia was involved, America was heavily involved, and the UN was also took center stage. Apparently, there was something in the CIA. They have been trying to doctor using social media to actually manipulate social media to